the book. You know what I mean? But it was
Okay.
all right.
Well, we are currently live. Thank you again for joining us. I think because of the delay, I probably scared some people off, but there's always replay. That's why I like doing this. I can do it live. People
Don't
jump
be
in.
afraid.
Don't be afraid. And there's also replay because apparently a lot of people, that's what they do. Because even my longer streams and even the streams where I'm just for a whole week getting a bunch of people together, it takes forever. So it's like also I have like less than 100 people subscribers. So there, you know what? I'm lucky to get anybody. But yet again, new comic book day aftermath. I guess it'll be a somewhat. It ain't gonna be every week because I don't get new comics every week. But joining me yet again is the incomparable Matt Land, Slacker Power. Thank you again for joining me, Matt. And he wanted to put a little structure into this, so we're gonna keep this. He's gonna keep me on task because I like to going off the rails. If there's rails, I just like screw that. We're just going off the rails. So this week we picked up some new books. Well, new to me at the very least, because I got two brand new ones that came out this week. And Matt, you picked up some as well. How many new ones did you get this week?
I would say there was. Say it was actually, I guess, 4 new books from this week, or 5. I guess 5 new books, and then I guess one of the books came out. I guess was a week or two ago. Hawkman #1.
Yeah, it might have been. I think it might have been a little longer. I think Hawkman 2's out
yeah,
already.
I think it might have been a little longer than that. Yeah,
it's like a month maybe, but yeah, it's been a while since I've been to the shop, and so many stops and starts with Hawkman. I've kind of just But I heard good things.
When I first saw it, I looked at it, but I didn't pick it up. I don't know what I was thinking because I actually enjoyed it.
I don't blame it. It's like I understand that there's people, with the whole Hawkman crew and everything like that. It's like, oh, I don't get them. I just figure that they've wrote themselves into a hole so many times. But we'll talk about Hawkman in a bit. But the first book on my pile, I don't know about you, but Injustice versus Masters of the Universe.
Hell yeah,
dude! What sold me on this book not only because of the concept. Okay, Injustice 2, Injustice 1, both love the games. And the comics, I'd read some of them, hadn't read all of them because there's so many of them. There's like 40, 50 issues or whatever. I think it's like one of the
I dipped in and read a couple every now and then.
Yeah, I think they did one for like, I guess, for the first game, and now they got one for the second. It's so all over the place. But
they really built a world, I will say that much.
Dude, they have. Like, the guy that was doing it is now over at Marvel, running X-Men to the ground, apparently, that...
womp womp.
Tom Taylor, I think it is. Yeah, it's like womp womp. But no, sad trombone. But I picked it up mainly because of the artist. I was like, oh, wait a second. I like the art has like kind of a chunky look and kind of looks like almost watercolor. And it's Freddie Williams the second. Freddie Williams. He's like
the
guesting
third.
Like that's J.H. Williams the third. This is Freddie Williams. Freddie Williams has been on Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst a couple of times because I'm a big Red Letter Media fan, big Best of the Worst fan, and it's all pencil work and it's colored, but it doesn't look like that early 2000s. It actually has it looks brutal. It kind of has like that 70s look. It doesn't. I'd have to. My biggest complaint: the Batman's too top heavy. It's like he's got pecs of boulders. His pecs are like boulders, but everything else looks great. I mean,
he's got to be bigger than He-Man. You got to know it.
He's like bat suit. He's like pumping it up like this like the sneakers from the 90s. You're pumping him up.
He's making more space for his muscles, man.
It's just he's
literally getting bigger, just standing there thinking about beating up criminals.
He's hulking up. He's like putting his ear to his cow, hulking up like Hulk Hogan. I can hear you, brother. Hear the cry of justice, brother. But
the art was super consistent. I will say that much.
The art was consistent. The art looked strong. It fit the world perfectly because that was one of those things. Like I've never liked when you have the wrong artist for like you need something that looks great for the Masters of the Universe.
All that looked very natural.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like one of those old Conan books from the 70s. Like one of the artists, because some of the art had that kind of the way because it's pencils, but it looks almost like when they would take a brush and ink with a brush, and it's kind of like that. So it's not lines aren't super crisp, but they're kind of like almost like they're on a watercolor board. And the characters look great. You know, I kind of love the fact that everybody's like, we were used to the dictator. He was getting things accomplished, and Adam's like, I can't get nothing. I can't do nothing right. I fight my way out. It's like because it takes place after the Masters Universe Thundercats book, which I didn't read, but this is like a
continuity here. That's kind of crazy.
There's continuity, and they don't make you feel stupid for not reading it. Like they tell you kind of that's how old comics used to be. It's Tim Seeley writing it, and I'm like, wow, he did a great job. I did. It was kind of uncomfortable, the whole like with Adam's mom, like, oh yeah, I was at Fort Lauderdale, one of the bikinis, and I was like just like them, like, you know, in my underwear, and he's like, I wish I'd never heard that, you know, he's like, wish I could have kept that.
It's just a different world on, you know, their planet, dude.
Yeah, it's like, but the, you know, with the artwork and everything, because like I actually have the some of the pages from Comixology, thankfully. So I got this right here. I mean, the cover, I mean, sets it up. Yeah, but this takes place continuity-wise after Injustice 2, the video game. If you've only played the games, so it's like be after Injustice 2. But and the kind of and at first I was like, oh, why is He-Man so dour on the cover? And if you read the book, it makes sense. So he's like
sad. He's depressed.
Yeah, but it's not in a woe is me, I'm He-Man. It's like, what the hell do you expect? It's like showing him some character growth and everything, and showing like everything ain't perfect. I mean,
or as I said, he's not just the barbarian riding down to the village, you know, to help everyone out, and then he leaves.
Yeah, he's got full character. He's actually got character. Everybody in the book has character. Even Battle Cat and Orko. I was like, what in the world? What is going on
here?
These
are big time players right now. Yeah.
I know Orko, man. It's like, you know, he's got a good agent. They go mess around. But the interior work, I was like really surprised, like how well it looks for being that, because usually that pencil colored from the pencils look.
Oh, look, it's Mobius. I mean, it's Zodak. My bad.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, oh no, you know, it's you know, it's Metron. Oh wait, and it's Mobius chair. Wait a second. No, it's not. But the you know, like, I mean, like, I kind of like the way he draws women. It kind of reminds me a little bit Ed McGuinness a little bit. You know, has that kind of look to it, but everything just looked great. I mean, I love his take on Skeletor. Like, he showed this version of Skeletor does not actually this is Skeletor full power, but you see like a weakened Skeletor. I used to have a Ram Man action figure. I don't know why. It's just like he was like the only one that survived. It's like because I think he never got played with.
He's the toy he would never get played with. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's like he like got kept on the bench all the time, but yeah, it's like, I mean, just brutal, chunky art, and it works so great. It looks like the toys come to life.
It's Faker.
Yeah, Faker. I love it. I love this, but yeah, it's like this. That's
I'm a sucker for that kind of shit. Yeah, definitely.
You're like the only one, man. Like that's one of the problems with these characters today. Like when they don't have that kind of epic look to them, they have kind of, you know, the idea for realism, screw that. Give me the epicness. Give me that kind of over-the-top craziness. But with the book, he just sets up everything like, you know, Zodak's trying to save the, you know, like warn the people of Eternia. And that, like, you want to get into spoilers, like, for everything? I guess, okay, I'm willing to jump in there. If
he's willing to ruin it, here it comes.
Well, they kind of set up. They set up like something is, you know, evil is coming to Eternia, and like, you know, because Skeletor was, you know, plucked, you know, from like the jaws of death by the evil, corrupt Superman from the world of Injustice, and Zodak's trying to
get his job done. I will say I enjoyed the Brainiac Superman suit. That was definitely pretty nice.
That is nice, and then like using Batman, a Batman
his
as
own
like,
Faker.
Yeah, well. As basically Brother Eye, you know, has his brain hooked up, because that's actually the bad ending for Injustice 2. Batman, if you choose, like, you get a choice in Injustice 2, play as Batman or play as Superman. At like one of the last battles, you play as Batman. Of course, you beat Superman. He gets locked up, thrown into a crypt.
That's when I played through. Yeah.
So I went through, and that's when I played through as well. So I went back and played through as Superman, and it's much longer. And Batman basically gets lobotomized, and his brain is like hooked up, so he's basically Brother Eye, but he's like got the Brainiac tech in him and everything. So that's basically what that part in the comic was. But Skeletor, like, I have an idea, Superman. You know? whatever, that kind of voice.
That was
So,
close enough, yeah.
and in Darkseid and the rest of the forces of Apocalypse show up. It's great. I'm like, I'm in.
I
Dude,
kind of
that's
felt like that was coming a little bit, but I did enjoy seeing it there at the end.
yeah. I had a feeling like I was like, okay, they're doing Eternia, Grayskull,
You look at the
Skeletor.
players that are on the board already, you can kind of get an idea who might show up sometimes.
Well, there's people that said that the Masters Universe movie is basically a fourth world Jack Kirby movie. You know, if you just replace Tom Paris and what is her name, Courtney Cox with like Jimmy Olsen and Lucy Lane, and then He-Man for Orion and Skeletor for Darkseid, and so on and so forth. You got all these characters that actually match up.
You don't
So,
replace Dolph Lundgren, though.
well, Dolph Lundgren is Orion of the New Gods. That'd be kind of cool. Like
He's got that angry face. I think he could pull it off. Just ram a fucking tin can on his head. Here you go, bro.
And have him like in the Astro harness is flying around.
It's Stallone as Kanto? No?
You know what? That would actually work. That would work. I guess Big Barda. They had that we already had basically Big Barda in the film with that the chick that didn't want to eat chicken, which is weird. Even though
she's above that.
Yeah, Orko is eating chicken. Orko or not Orko? What was his name? What was his name? Gwildo.
The beard around his fucking head.
Yeah, not Orko. It was called Quilto or something like that. But the book was well written, well drawn. I'm sold. I'm gonna get the rest of the miniseries. It's 6 issues, and I'm getting the rest of them. So it's like, boom, there you go. That's how you sell me on a book. Good rating, good art, good everything. So I'm kind of glad I mentioned it to you. You probably would have saw it anyway, but
I was aware of his existence. I was not sure if I was going to pull the trigger, but after talking to you, I pulled the trigger.
Yeah, pulled the trigger.
Walked in there, immediately knew I was going to pick up.
So you picked up a couple of new books, other than I think that's the only one new wise that came out this week that we had in common, because the other one I picked up was Justice League number 4. I guess I could talk about that. Justice League 4 is I read Justice League 1. I hadn't read 3 or 4, 2 or 3.
I've read up to 3. I didn't pick up the new one though.
Well, I think I won't be picking up 5. I think I hate Justice League. I think I kind of hate it. Oh, you kind of cut out there. What'd you say?
I said it's a feel-good book right now. What did you hate about it, man?
A feel-good book? You mean it's like you mean Scott Snyder's trying to outdo Grant Morrison? You mean?
I hope he does. I hope he fucking does. No.
It's too fucking much, man.
I want to see it happen.
Dude, it's like, all right, I get the craziness of stuff going on. It's okay, but they got the Akira baby that's a part of the Source Wall and the multiverse, and the inner space with Hawk Girl and Batman inside the bloodstreams of Martian Manhunter and Superman to fight.
This is what you're here for. Yes, that right there, definitely. And then
dude, it's way too much. It's like, to me, it was like for me, I understood what's going on, but it's like part of me can process it. The other part's me like screaming, like I was like, oh, I understand what I'm doing. Other part's going,
you just can't do it.
I can't. I won't do it. No, never. And it was just too much. It was, and like 2, 3, the invisible spectrum, the evil, universe, the ultraviolet, core. It's just.
You're not feeling that either?
Dude, it's just all too much. And I guess because the whole dark metal stuff and the metal whatever books. That's
you didn't read metal, did you?
No, I read the Forge, whatever, that first issue that kind of kicked it off. The one I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't need to read no more, because it's like I'm not paying $6-7 an issue for the series and all the tie-ins and all that. I'm like, no, I'm not getting suckered into that. But it's like, okay, so they basically made Hawk Girl Archangel from the X-Men. They gave her like the organic.
Yeah, I've got a couple issues of metal where she's all hawked up with metal.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me.
I don't like it, dude.
Dude, I do not.
I definitely prefer characters more when they become more like Archangel or Wolverine. I'm drawn to that, like a fly to the death flight. Yeah, dude.
So all that blood striking on those Liefeld characters from the 90s. You're like, oh man,
yeah.
I can't get enough of that.
I can't get enough, man. No hands, no feet, all blades, pouches. That's what I'm here for.
Blade Runner. They call him a Blade Runner. BLADDDD or UNNER. But it's so, it's just too much. It's like, I'm okay with the high concept stuff, but this reminds me of, and unlike a lot of people, I don't outright hate Mark Waid for everything he does. I mean, that's shocking in this modern world. It's like everything Mark Waid's like, there's
how dare you?
There's people to go, hey, he's never wrote anything good. I'm like, you people are so blinded by your hatred.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so embarrassing. But this reminds me that Mark Waid and actually Brian Hitch was one of those tabloid size graphic novels, like what they did with those the Paul Dini and Alex Ross comics, like the Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, Shazam. They did those books like that size.
Captain Lightning, what is he called?
I think they just called it Shazam at the time. Shazam Power of Hope or some stuff like that. But
Shazam Power of Hope, I like it.
But the book, this Justice League book that Waid and Hitch did, it was like Mark Waid trying to do the Grant Morrison thing, and it just hurt my head, and I didn't like it. It wasn't like fun over the top, it wasn't.
People gotta keep trying, Larry. Don't discourage him. I want to see someone outdo him.
Here's the thing: if this Justice League run was more akin to like the Warren Ellis Authority, like where like there's like a 4-issue arc, 4-issue arc, 4-issue arc. There's 3 arcs in Warren Ellis' entire Authority run. And, one, they basically battle God. Sorry, 4 arcs. 4. Because, 3? No, because they battle God. They battle...
Talking about with the Angels. Superman was still blue at the time, right? Yeah, I think I remember him pulling the moon back into orbit or some shit like that.
I mean the Warren Ellis' Authority with Brian Hitch. That Authority comic, the one that Mark Miller
took over. I'm just thinking about Justice League for some reason. My bad.
No, it's all good. I mean, they battled... The Authority basically battled God. They battled evil blue Britons from an alternate universe, and they basically battled Fu Manchu. But it all felt epic and grand.
Worthy adversary.
It's fun. It was a really fun book. I really enjoyed all those stories. And the Grant Morrison run, you had him battle dreams. You had him battle angels, white Martians, stuff like that. Very Justice League stuff. This is like too much. This is like too much. This is like these 4 issues from
you
one.
Think there's too many moving parts, is what you're saying?
Hell yes. There's like 12 issues worth of story. And normally I wouldn't complain about this shit, but there's just so many too many goddamn high concepts. Too fucking many. It's like chill the fuck out. Cut some of this out. Cut some of this out through the cutting room floor. Maybe whatever, its own thing. Whatever. Like the caveman bullshit from the first issue, that should have been like Challengers the Unknown. Leave that for them. The moon thing, I was like, what the fuck is this?
I'm still perplexed by the moon thing.
Yeah, and then like they fucking touch upon it in the 4th issue. It's like they go to the moon and Sinestro comes, and because of the invisible spectrum, the ultraviolet core, they, because they lay out the ground rules that Sinestro. Apparently, Sinestro's first name is Thal Sinestro. I never knew that until this issue. I guess I missed it previously.
I feel like I've seen this before,
but it just over the top of my head. He
was Indiana Jones, dude. You didn't know?
Yeah, well, that's apparently so. It's like, what the fuck? I didn't know until these issues and everything. But going over the top of my head, and then just Sinestro shows up on the moon. The moon's kind of cracked up, but still held together, kind of, sort of. Because of the gravity or some bullshit.
Held by what? G-Force, right? That guy's not really doing much anyway, so...
Yeah, G-Force is on the moon. He's like bored. He's like, shh. Me and Tara just hanging here playing cards, keeping the moon together. But...
This is their book.
Yes, their book. It's like...
Keeping it together. Number 1.
Moon, Tara, Geo-Force, Moonraker, It was just... And I might wait till like the collection comes out or something like actually happens. It's like, Snyder, chill the fuck out, dude. Chill out. Tell me one cohesive story, because this is just too goddamn much. I hate the Joker, so the Joker's in that 4th issue.
In the
Fuck the
third issue, it ended with the Joker behind Haunt Girl.
Yeah, with a chainsaw. It's like, I know this is
In
not
my
real.
mind, I don't expect the Joker to be seen on weird missions like this that Lex Luthor's cooked up.
No, it's just like, oh, maybe he just hijacked and this, that, and that. But Lex Luthor, the
I feel like it's difficult trusting the Joker in a team setting like this. I mean, it's kind of we've seen it before. It's kind of relatively something that you don't see often, though.
It's the worst idea possible. Yeah, let's put Joker in a situation. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
Hold this dynamite in your hand and tell me if it's not going to explode or not.
Ask the Joker to do something, know he won't do it, and then actually helping you out. Like, you kind of outthinking the Joker and then piss him off. Like that right there, I'd be fine with that. But it's too little too late. Fuck the Joker. I hate the Joker. I wish the Joker, Harley Quinn, fuck even the comic book version of Deadpool just
they're never going.
They're never going anywhere, but I know.
It's mountains of plastic.
Oh, God. Just so many
in their honor.
So many cosplayers at San Diego Comic-Con right now, just like walking around like Joker. Still like you'll have the Jared Leto Jokers. You'll have the
why so serious, Larry? Why so serious, man?
Because life is a fucking joke, and I got to be serious to keep it balanced. But it's so fucking weird just to have that happen in that issue, and then the end, the piloted Superman and Martian Manhunter basically going towards the multiverse, so they're going to control the multiverse, which I like. Evil Superman, evil Martian Manhunter control the multiverse via Lex Luthor piloting him around and Joker piloting around Martian Manhunter.
Oh, so it's like, no!
Yeah, it's like, oh God,
they did it.
I just can't. It's like I can't fucking do it. So
those sons of bitches did it,
dude. I'm fucking done, man. I'm fucking done with Justice League for now, at least. But
you sold me, dude.
I sold you. I sold you on what? The insanity?
Yes.
Oh God, no! It's the exact opposite. I'm trying to warn you. I'm trying to warn you, my friend. But it's just too fucking much. I know. Like, why? Normally they don't give you nothing, but it's just too much, man. Too much.
I feel like it's got it. I mean, where it might be too much, there might be a reason why it's like that, because it's a team book. And there's too often where I've seen a team book where it's just, there's not any life to it. You know what I mean? There's not enough going on. And it's supposed to be a team book. It's not a solo book. So there needs to be a reason, to bring so many of these characters together that traditionally work alone. So, I mean, I definitely agree. There can be too much, definitely.
Yeah, I get that, but it's like,
but there's got to be
the focus with the whole the visible spectrum, the ultraviolet core, all that.
You're not digging the source wall going away?
They're still dealing with the source wall. They got this invisible spectrum, a black sun that is sentient, and a universe that you can't see that latches itself upon Earth. It's just too
some
fucking
Cthulhu
great
level shit, dude.
Dude, it's worse than that. It's because you got to deal with all the other Green Lantern extended bullshit. Like,
Isn't Grant Morrison about to be working on Green Lantern?
Oh God, yeah, and then in fucking September, whatever. Yeah, that's gonna make everything so much better. But I used to like Green Lantern. The Green Lanterns were the only thing that existed, and if there was yellow power ring, and that was made by the Weaponeers of Cord. I like that. Like the fact
you
that
want to go back to that normal
simplicity.
Dynamic.
Yes. Like if you wanted to say at one time there was a multi-spectrum cores and this and that, you know what? Depending on the context, I could probably tolerate it. But the fact that so you got red lanterns and yellow and orange and I'm like, shut the fuck up with that shit. Oh, now you have
more,
white lanterns and black lanterns, and then you have the invisible. Like there's a fucking version of the turtle in that fucking comic where it's an infant and it's strapped to Gorilla Grodd's chest and it has the still force that it stops things. It's almost cringeworthy. It was just too much.
I'm still wrapping my mind around the still force concept.
It's like, okay, I guess I could wrap my head around it. It's like entropy. It's like everything freezes and stops and whatever. Like the death of the universe, like the end of expansion, everything just
the negative speed force. But I think that's already a thing. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's what's so.
I think it was recently a thing. Actually,
it's just
I think it's
too many concepts at once. It's like somebody took one of those like one of those dry erase boards, probably in the DC offices, and just put it in comic book form, and that's what this is. You know, so. But what other books did you get? I mean,
I
like
picked
new
up
ones.
Batman 51.
Okay, Batman
I
51.
could
After
start
the
with that.
controversial non-wedding, Lee Weeks doing the artwork.
Lee
Mr.
Weeks
Freeze,
is
right?
amazing. He is stellar
Well,
as always. I will
yeah,
definitely say that. And he had some
he did
great
kill him.
coloring from Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Brightweiser.
Mm-hmm.
She did a good job. I would say I really enjoyed it, and I'll be honest with you, there really wasn't like too much on the surface as far as Batman getting over the whole Catwoman deal. But I feel like in a lot of the artwork and some of the mannerisms they show, Batman in, you can kind of tell that maybe there is something bothering him. But he is Batman, He's obviously not going to open up and start telling everyone about the situation.
That'd be funny if he did. That's like going around like beating somebody up. He's like, "Yeah,
well, I will say
left me."
he does beat the shit out of some people.
But kind of like spilling his guts while he's doing it. It's like I don't do this out of anger. But a bitch.
That makes me think. Well, the comedian doesn't he have a bit like that? You're beating somebody up.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, he's like he's that kind of sadistic person. But
I don't think. Yeah, Batman's definitely not that sadistic.
He's sadistic, but not to that degree. That's for sure. It's Batman has a limit, but
and we'll say the book also puts Batman in a different situation, which is a court setting as a juror, which is something I don't feel like I've ever seen that before. But it does offer a surprise visit from someone we've seen as Batman before, which is kind of cool. I don't want to spoil too much, but
John Paul Valley.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not
that'd be kind of weird. But
no, I think he's off in space. I'm not really entirely sure what he's doing.
Who knows?
I've seen pictures of that resurrected suit, and I think I read the issue. I bought the issue. I guess it was after that whole storyline. There was like two of them. I don't know. I wasn't following too closely to what was going on. I spotted because I saw the Asbat armor on the cover, and I thought, man, that looks awesome.
Spreading the order of Saint Dumas.
I was never a big Valley fan, but I always liked that suit. It looked, when drawn correctly, that suit looked awesome.
Which is God help us, a joke
assotted. There's so many different variations of that suit. Yes.
I kind of like the one from the Arkham Knight. That design. The kind of it's got kind of like Assassin's Creed, but with like spike armor.
Yeah, and I guess that there's a variation of that in the book I've seen. I think it was before the New 52. I guess when he was Azrael, Agent of the Bat. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that one like that was very similar.
I'm digging deep, dude. I'm digging deep. I could be wrong though.
Deep tracks, man. Deep tracks.
But as a whole, it was good. I will say the one thing I disliked was seeing the ad for the new Supergirl comic book with that ugly costume she's wearing.
I have not seen this. I'm gonna have to look this up
because that thing popped up in 2 different books I bought yesterday. Yeah, it was also in the Injustice book. I don't know. Yeah,
Injustice. I'm gonna have to look that up real quick. Because that right there, Now, are you talking? Oh, you mean that? You mean that trade paperback, the one with Joelle Jones?
Yeah,
doing the artwork.
I don't like that suit.
Being Super, I think it's called.
Oh no, not that. It's a new book. She looks like she's holding a wooden staff.
I'm not recalling this. I
think she's going after the new bad guy that just showed up in Bendis' Superman book. Mohawk guy.
Roll. I want to say Roll Gold, like the pretzels.
I done forgot his name. Pretzel guy. There you go.
Roll Gold Czar. That's his name. Roll Gold Czar. What the fuck?
I hate that. Czar.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't recall seeing this.
Well, maybe you'll never see it, Larry. So that's good.
I hope not. There you go. I hope not.
She looks like she's wearing a sweatpants suit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like this kind of stuff when they do this. Let's see, past week, maybe Google image search will help me out.
Just Google new Supergirl book. It's probably what's gonna see if I can do that.
Yeah, because this. Oh wait, this is from back in May.
Where is it
Let's
at?
see if this one. This is Sci-Fi Wire, so maybe it'll be the right one. But yeah, this Supergirl I really liked the '90s one, the Peter David. Even though she was like an angel and everything, she wasn't really Kara Zor-El.
I kind of dipped out after all that business.
Oh, they gave her a hoodie. What? God
Woo!
damn it! What the fuck did they do this shit? This is the God fucking damn it!
Good.
Black with the dark red and the fucking blue. This is dog shit. This is utter. What the fuck with the goddamn sash and a hoodie? What kind of retard designed this fucking shit? Jorge Jimenez, the guy that's doing the fucking Justice League book, designed this piece of shit.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to stir up the ant pile.
God damn it.
It was just a small side note I had here. I guess I probably could have kept that to myself.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh. Jesus.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm looking at this shit, and it's like, these people can't fucking design costumes to save their lives. There's no one at DC. Jim Lee sucks at it. That Brett Booth, the fucking whiniest motherfucker on the face of the earth, who, if you go, he's like, hey, man, why don't you fight some piracy? It's like, well, what's the point? There ain't no point of fighting piracy there. Fucking idiot. Fucking Jim Lee fart catcher. And then this bullshit. This god-awful fucking design. It's like, she's wearing like a half hoodie. It's like a fucking belly hoodie.
Maybe it's some kind of traditional Kryptonian.
Don't give me that. No. You don't get to fucking give it let me share this. So, like, the fucking, for, what do you call it?
Kryptonian
austerity.
Revenge robes. That's what they're called.
Don't you fucking dare.
I give it a name.
Don't you fuck. Okay. Kryptonian revenge robes for this fucking dog shit. Fuck this shit. This fucking black half hoodie. It looks like, my God, it looks like something they'd sell at the fucking.
This is for sensible space combat and going into.
No, dude, it looks like something they'd sell at the goddamn. I feel like Lewis Black. I'm like, God damn it, fucking screw this shit.
I'm gonna rationalize this.
No rationalization.
This is something her mom wore before the planet got blown up.
Fuck that. No,
she's pulling it out and she's like, man, I'm gonna find this motherfucker
gear.
And get revenge.
Oh my God, this is so.
Maybe the S turns red when she gets mad.
You know what I'd do?
This is an action figure. It would be cool.
If I'm a villain, I would not only would I punch her in the nose to make her nose bleed, I'd grab the bottom of the cape and I'd grab the fucking the crotch cloth. I'd grab that, tie her up like a fucking bow, and swing her around my head and launch her into the fucking sun. And enjoy getting supercharged with cells, with solar cells.
You're hoping it will burn this weird cloak off.
And then she'd come back stark ass naked. You know what? Much more of an improvement for this shit. The fucking face on her too. What the fuck was the nose? The eyes are too goddamn wide apart. That's too fucking. That ain't even really blue. That's what green to my eyes. But what the fuck is this?
Is this actual book art or is this DeviantArt?
This is the design work, but for that, by that Jorge Jimenez.
Is this some Tumblr stuff?
Who the fuck knows at this point? God damn it! This pisses me off. This pisses me.
I ruined Larry's day. I should.
No, man. My day will be saved. My day will be saved eventually.
Don't talk about bad costumes.
Jesus Christ! But I have a. My thing is, there are certain costumes like Supergirl's had some shitty costumes. That is one of the shittiest. I always thought that fucking 70s one, dude. I always thought the 70s one with the fucking the
headband.
The headband looked kind of shitty, like weird, like workout thing, because it just didn't look like, why the fuck with the headband? But
fitness carrot, dude.
No, if it was like the kind of like, if it was like the Karate Kid style headband, not that like fucking elasticy looking thing, like
yeah, that was the style like back then. The hair,
underneath the hair, not on top of it. On top of it, so yeah, but the style, style.
I'm going to start working a headband in. Then I'll start wearing it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. For the love of God, please do not do it. No, but it's like if they'd worked it into like like kind of a like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of thing or whatever, or like a Karate Kid kind of deal.
You're saying like she pulls it over her eyes like a mask?
No, like still like a sweat band, but not over the top of her hair.
What like under both.
Why would Why would it be doing?
Why she got a headband to begin with? I mean, so why can't it do
exactly.
both?
Put the fucking S shield on the headband.
Superman sweat. The Supergirl
sweat. Super sweat. She sells it. It's like she sells it. She wrings it out in the desert and flowers grow. Who the fuck knows? But
she's an angel, so I guess I could see where that might work.
Was an angel, but that one's over at IDW or something.
IDW, huh? Picking up the scraps.
They pick up everybody's scraps. They license everything out.
We'll take this weird Supergirl character off your hands. We'll go ahead and retool this. We'll retool this.
Peter David. But, okay, and other than Batman 51, what else did you get?
Green Lantern 51.
Green Lantern 51.
Dan Jurgens' first outing on, I guess, the Green Lanterns is what the book's called.
Okay,
this is my first time ever buying this book, so I really don't know much about either, Simon Baz or the other new Green Lantern. So I came in a book not really knowing much. And I would say I like the art. I enjoyed the murder mystery, which I kind of feel like they were trying to make me think it was Simon. I mean, usually in these situations, it's not the most obvious choice, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, other than that, I did like it. I enjoyed it. So I might come in for another one, and I think I might try to figure out who the Simon character is and the other characters I've never seen before.
Yeah. So would you say that Jurgens was actually able to kind of keep you up to, even though it's his first book and your first?
Yeah, I felt like he just kind of came into this pretty seamlessly. I mean, I'm not really sure what was going on in the book before this. I like Dan either way. He could write on toilet paper, I'd probably buy it. So, yeah.
Well, so it's like, other than murder mystery and the artwork and everything, who did the artwork on that book?
It was Mike Perkins.
Okay. Oh, wow. Good.
So yeah, I feel like he's paired up with someone good. I'm not sure if Dan's gonna do his own art. I usually will do a little bit of art every now and then. So I hope we definitely get to see that. But I don't know if we will or not.
Mike Perkins is one of those artists that I knew he had moved over to DC from Marvel a while ago. Hadn't heard anything of him doing anything. But that's
might be his first book. I don't know.
But I mean, he's a fucking great artist, though. That's what's I mean, he should be on a bigger project than that. No, I know it's Green Lantern.
He's waiting around. They're going to put him on a Superman book.
Brad Meltzer, Mike Perkins. I'm fucking sold. I'll be sold with that.
Over my Bendis body. No.
Oh, we'll talk about that too. We'll get around to that. But
let's talk about Hawkman.
Okay, no, well, you got some newer books, right? Other than you still got some new books. We'll get to Hawkman. Don't worry.
Executive Assistant Iris was another new book I picked up.
Okay, so what issue was that you picked?
It was number 1. It was, okay. And I'll be honest with you, this is another book I went into. I knew very little about this book. Actually, I knew nothing about this book. I actually had to ask if they had it, and he pointed me in the right direction. Oh, but it's by Blake Northcott. She knocked it out. I've come to like a lot of what she's putting out now. So that was part of the reason why I picked up this book. And she's been super nice and polite to people I've seen on the internet, and that's always a big plus in my book. I would say it had an interesting story. Coming into a story for the first time, it definitely did a good job of keeping me interested. I think I'm going to come back for another issue. I know that much.
What is it about? I have no clue. What the book is about.
Well, I don't want to ruin it for you, Larry.
Well, I mean,
I want you to go pick it up.
Is it a science fiction? Is it a murder mystery? Or is it, thriller?
I would say it's more thriller.
Okay, definitely thriller. Okay,
more thriller.
How's the artwork in it?
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, I will say there was a couple spots where I didn't think it was too consistent, but for the most part, I did like it.
Yeah. I was thinking,
she's doing a Kickstarter right now too. I think she's got a book coming out.
Yeah, Grimoire or something like that. But I'd seen. I think I retweeted it too. I can't remember. It's been. Well, that's another. Good God, there's a lot of things to talk about.
There's so much to talk about.
So what other new books other than that? Like any new ones that came out this week anymore?
Well, I did pick up the Aphrodite. What we said, Aphrodite 5.
Aphrodite 5, yeah.
Yeah, I picked it up because I've seen this. I guess Brian Hill talking about the book. I know he's working on the new. I think it's Detective Comics right now. Yeah. And I didn't pick that up. I don't know why I fucking didn't do that. I was telling myself I wanted to pick that up. but I forgot to do that.
So you picked it up.
Yeah, I did it. I
Aphrodite
have not
5,
finished. I haven't
and
finished reading it, but I mean, for the most part, what I've read, I've liked it. I'm not super familiar with this character. I did read it. I think it was back in the early 2000s when it first came out. I remember Wizard did like a big promotion for it. I think they might have put out some variant covers for it or something like that. I just remember there being a little bit of publicity in Blizzard or Wizard. I mean,
well, that
Blizzard.
character would never fly. Well, Aphrodite 5 might fly at Blizzard. Aphrodite 9, where tiny, like the skirt's maybe 2 inches, and there's a thong riding up her ass, and like
I would say this wasn't like that at all. The character had some flaws, so it definitely moved away from that whole concept.
yeah. I looked at the artwork. It's not my kind of thing.
It was. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It was just a little lumpy for my taste.
Remember when Top Cow used to have great artists? Like
yes.
they used to. Like now I think he still works occasionally for him. That Steven Sajik and his wife over last I can't remember his wife's name, but they've done Witchblade and a couple other stuff occasionally. Their books fucking suck, dude. I'm not like that. Cyberforce, the art sucked, and the writing was co-written by that Brian Hill. That's when like everybody's like, he's great. I'm like, is he great because he's actually great, or because Richard Meyer and his crew is saying he's great? So that's the thing.
I'm saying great because this book actually had a decent story, even if the artwork wasn't 100%.
I gotta have me some good art. I gotta have me some good art though, especially from a Top Cow
yeah,
book.
definitely. I want some good art. Yeah, I definitely want some good art. I totally agree with that. But the story that was being weaved, and coming to understand, there's been more than one of these Aphrodite characters. So I did like that part. It's just the art was a little missed for me.
Yeah, that right there, because you're saying lumpy, that's never a good sign.
I don't like use the word lumpy, but that's what it kind of looked like to me. And
call it how you see it, man.
My artwork's not much better, so I'm not trying to
I didn't know you drew.
Mine's better.
I never knew you drew.
Well, yeah, I think one of our first shows I did a little Batman doodle.
Okay. But
I'll probably be launching my own Kickstarter here soon. So
shit, why not? Everybody else is. She'll
go ahead and lose my values here. Please go ahead and give me some money so I can put out this dream book I've been thinking about my whole life.
Give me money for a book. Give me money for a book that you won't see for 6 months to a year.
I'm going to give you one book, and then before I maybe release that book, I'm going to go ahead and give you another one.
I need $15,000 for 8-page pamphlet.
I'm going to sell you something that's the size of a small notepad.
And it's going to cost $20 shipping and handling within the U.S.
I'm going to scribble on each one of these pages, and then you're going to have to come up with your own story. That's how life-changing it is.
It's going to be on a piece of tissue paper. Oh, God.
I'm going to bind tissue paper together. That's a great idea, dude. By hand. This is something you can't get anywhere else.
Get 3-ply, dude. Get 3-ply. It's a better bang for your buck, you know?
1-ply. So there can be no mistakes.
Oh, Jesus. But you haven't finished that, even though the artwork's lumpy. The writing's good.
Yeah, the writing's good. I want to go out and I want to pick up his Detective Comics stuff.
I might give that book a shot, if not Detective, if not either Detective or that Aphrodite. I might give both one or the other a shot. Probably not both, but not making it a priority because there's so many other books I got to get around to reading. But any other new books? Any other new business, as it were?
Well, I did read Miss Marvel #1 after we talked about that last week, and I got 4 pages into that, and I was done.
See, you're a bigot. Why you gotta be such?
I'm not a bigot. Man? It just not for me. I didn't like it.
You hate women. You hate Muslims. We know the truth now. I mean, you can't hide from your feelings. Oh, don't worry about it, dude. I
my only issue was I just didn't like it. I just wasn't feeling it. It's definitely not written for me.
Here's my thing. Remember when comics were written for everyone, and they could make you like. Somebody like Chris Claremont can make you care about a little Jewish girl or a Russian or a chick who used to be a thief from Africa who was a wind goddess.
That's part of weaving a story, is finding a way to make you emotionally invested. That's part of writing. You can't just write something
for a
just
specific,
for the structure, you know, or
and a
just
niche
to hit the right points. You got to write a story.
Comics don't have to be niche. They don't have to be. They weren't always that. People made themselves that. It's like that's what's so fucked up about this shit. It's like, well, it's just not for you. It's like it should be for me, motherfucker. You should be like, hey, we want to get the fat white guys. We want to get the black men, black women, Asian people. We want to get the disabled, the handicapped, this, that, what. We want everyone to want to read this book. You know, Harry Potter. Fucking everybody read that shit. Stephen King, everybody read that shit. You know, like, yeah, you would have trash novels like that fucking, 50 Shades of Grey and shit like that. Women read that, and there were some weird men that read it. You know, oh, just read it because my girlfriend's reading it.
How dare you? What if someone wanted to read it to see what the hype was about, man? What if they didn't? What if they picked up the book and they didn't even know what it was about?
That's like joining the fucking Nazi party to see what the hype's about. I just want to see what they're about. It's like,
we're not talking about New Jack Hitler, Larry. We're not doing that today.
I did not.
No,
I did not bring up New Jack Hitler. That was you.
You're on the path there.
I was not on the path. All I was saying is, how dare I look at how I compared fucking 50 Shades of Grey.
You're sitting around waiting to bring up New Jack Hitler. I can feel it.
Being that New Jack Hitler, but you had to bring him up, and so don't blame me. Okay, so big old note from Miss Marvel. Bad, that shows how bad writing is. It doesn't matter how good the artwork. As much as I like Adrian Alfona, that fucking book sucked, and it could have been for everyone, and that could have made me give a shit about a Muslim girl with superpowers, but they didn't.
I felt like it. I will say it did feel a little wordy.
This is what happens when you have it's editorial driven. Because that thing was not created because somebody had an idea for a great character. It's because the fucking editor, who is Muslim, wanted a Muslim character. And that's the only reason. It's like, it's like, oh, I need this character. Like, how about you make the character fucking organic? You know, it's like, it's so stiff. It was so badly done. Like, well, I'm Muslim, so I can write Muslim. It's like, hey, you're a black man. You can write black people, can't you? It's like, what the fuck? This is some
You should be able to write whatever you want to write.
Exactly.
That's how it should work.
That bullshit
your skin
of
color and your gender and all this other stuff shouldn't be your access key for what you can do in life.
Try telling those loons that.
I thought that was the one thing we were supposed to be against.
Well,
I mean, that's what I don't understand. I thought that's what we didn't want. You know,
for 2008, since 2008, things have been really fucked up since. No wonder why.
It just seems backwards.
Really backwards. Like, remember when. But so I guess on the Hawkman.
Hawkman, yes.
Fuck A, man. Fucking A. I had to get the variant cover with that weird grin he's got on his face. It looks like fucking Birdman. But it looks like...
It's totally worth it, though.
Dude, it's so fucking good. The idea of, like, because they actually used the idea I had a long time ago. It's like, well, Hawkman reincarnates. Why does he have to always reincarnate on Earth? And then it's like, he's on Ran, and he was back on Thanagar, he's back on Ran.
The big splash page showed... Yeah, there's a Kryptonian Hawkman. I'm just like... I'm ready to learn more about that. I'm ready to learn more about that.
And the idea, I think that's what they're going to explore. And then the idea there's like kind of Evangelion Hawk gods like vaporizing the Earth. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude! I'm fucking in.
There's a greater story here, and I'm enjoying it because I feel like Hawkman's a good vehicle for something like this.
The fucking flying guardian statue gorilla with wings going after Hawkman because he stole a fucking conch shell.
This is his Temple of Doom, dude.
Dude, this book, when they say epic, this is the kind of epic I want. I don't want that Justice League fucking Grant Morrison, Warren Ellis bullshit. Give me this. This is like that fucking action adventure over the top fun with dire consequences. Hey, well, yeah, the Earth's going to be vaporized by these giant hawk monster things from the future. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to die a bunch more times. Like, what do you mean by that? That could mean pretty much anything, like relive a couple of past lives or whatever. But it's so fucking good. It's well drawn, well written. I mean, amazing story. That's another thing. You have great characters, but if the fucking story sucks dick, like, what's the point? You know?
No, and the story was great. Yeah, the story was definitely great. I was invested immediately.
My biggest complaint is actually I didn't pick up the second issue.
I wish I did the same. I totally totally just grabbed this one. I was like, we'll see about, maybe if I like it or not. I haven't always been the biggest Hawkman fan.
See, I like
Although
them. It's like
I liked it when Hawkman became that like Omega Hawkman thing after Zero Hour when they combined all the Hawkmen together,
mhm.
and then he appeared, looking like this fucking badass Hawkman. I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but
It's so weird how they've dealt with Hawkman. It's like here's a simple origin. Okay, him and his wife partner. They were in love. They were on their, they were leaving Thanagar on a mission or something. Ends up crashing. A nth metal asteroid hits their ship. They crash in Egypt because of the nth metal and the accident. Their souls were bonded to the two closest people, which happened to be, a prince and a princess and everything. Then because of the nth metal and their souls and the energy and the way nth metal deals with energy, they bounce them all across the universe. Each time they die, it resets, and like they go from all over the universe and they get reincarnated. Boom, there you go. So you get they're Thanagarians and they're Egyptians, and there you go. That solves everything. And that's all they had to do. But no, they had to make this overly complicated bullshit. But this book doesn't have that. It's like, yeah, he gets reincarnated. He's always been like this. I've been a cop. I've been this. I've been the cop, you idiot.
yeah,
It's so great.
and there's still a lot of it, but I felt like in the way that it was presented to the reader, it was kind of streamlined in its delivery.
Yes, it was really streamlined and not much bullshit, but it was very straightforward with the kind of the character work, the action adventure, all that. Like kind of the setup with the Greek fisherman. Talking about how like I'm just imagining like how I kind of want to see that now. Fucking Hawkman on a battlefield, like beating the shit out of people with a mace. Like how fucking awesome would that be, man?
I definitely hope they explore that because of the picture they showed and all the different Hawkmen. I feel like that's something they can fall back on pretty often.
Yeah, so there's so much potential there. I
They
can't wait
gave
to read the
themselves
second issue.
they gave themselves more options by opening it up like that instead of trying to bottleneck it into just one Hawkman.
Yeah, it's gonna go from I'm gonna save my money from buying Justice League just to buy Hawkman. So there we go.
You're gonna buy more Justice League, Larry.
Nah, maybe not right away.
I'm gonna
Maybe
Xerox copies of the book when I buy it, and I'll send it to you. Is that illegal?
I think that might be. You just put that there. You're gonna be pirating.
I'll alter the art. I'll draw mustaches on everybody, dude. It'll be okay.
You'll pull
It's going to be
Cavill.
the Matt Land variant.
You'll
enjoy
it. You're gonna put Henry Cavill mustaches. You're gonna do the reverse Snyder Whedon cut. Just put.
You're gonna see whenever you see the name for everyone's name on the book, you'll see mine there too. I'll write it in for you.
Yeah, there you go. That's
I'll make
great
sure
idea.
to send it to I'll send it to DC. They'll be like, "This is good," but we can't release this.
Well, any other books that you read? Because I had
that was it. That was it, man.
I had those two X-Men books, Uncanny X-Men 308, where Scott proposes to Jean, and then X-Men number 30, which is where he marries Jean.
Good,
and
good book. Good book.
But Uncanny X-Men 308, I've been wanting to read this book for like 20 plus years. Dude, double page vertical splashes where it's just in the fucking danger room. No fucking comic I've ever read that has double page vertical splash or spread has ever made it worthwhile. Not even the fucking stripper voodoo from the first issue of Wildcats. No book has ever made it worthwhile. Because that could have been the voodoo on a stripper pole could have been a single page. There's nothing preventing a single page being a splash page with her just on a stripper pole. This is bullshit. And it was like multiple times during the book, you had to turn the book sideways. So it's really fucking annoying because you feel like, the books are just only two staples holding the thing together. And the paper, while not the weakest, but it ain't the strongest paper in the world. So
two staples holding on for dear life.
Yes. And then you're turning the book side. And so that torque motion, and you have to worry about the book tearing itself apart. So it's bullshit. But, the X-Men number 30 where Scott's like, Professor, if it wasn't for you, by my side, it'd be like going into the danger room naked, and Alex Summers is like, well, that's a vision I'll never get out of my head. It's just like great writing, great character work. They have like one tease of maybe violence might happen. You see Sabretooth with he's got the gauntlets on his hands, and
this is when they were trying to rehabilitate him.
Yeah, and then Wolverine was like had like written in the snow. It's like, don't you dare, bro. I'll mess you up. And it's like Wolverine wouldn't mind beating up basically a handicapped man.
Is this Uncanny X-Men 308?
No, the Uncanny X-Men 308 ain't the one where that the little.
I was gonna say because I've looked it up because it sounded familiar to me, and this is the one that I guess the Uncanny X-Men 308 is the one with the flashbacks with Jean and Scott.
Yes, that's on the cover and everything. But 30 is the one with a Sabretooth, the muzzled Sabretooth and everything. But it's both are great, even though like 308 has its issues. So, but yeah, it's like pretty much I'd say a good haul. I mean, it was a good haul this week. But dude, it's looking at Injustice Mastered Universe just brings up so many things. We got the She-Ra controversy. We got, which to me,
I'm not even feeling the She-Ra deal, dude. I remember when I was a kid, I think I saw maybe 1 or 2 episodes of that, and I just never really cared or watched that ever again.
None of these motherfuckers care. None of them give a goddamn. Like, they didn't give a goddamn until 2 weeks ago if you said She-Ra, and they're like, whatever. They don't care. Oh no, Cal Arts.
Fighting for the sake of fighting.
Exactly. They'll fucking fight under any banner. And these motherfuckers.
We need a monster to fight, so they've created one.
Exactly. This bullshit is what fucking happens so many fucking times. You have all these fucking people like that quartering. You have Richard. You have, I don't know if EVS is in it. All these fucking comics gators, Twitter, YouTube, this and that. Oh, I'm outraged. I'm out. Fucking snowflakes, all of them. Get a fucking life. Get a life and drop dead, as they said in the movie Black Ninja. Get a life and drop dead. It's so fucking dumb. It's like you giving a shit. And then there's a fucking. I had to unfollow this asshole. He's always fucking mopey motherfucker. You got pissed because of the whole Comics Gate. Oh, we're Comics Gate B team. Brian Ball, fucking Rags, whatever his fucking name is. The Rags book had fucking haunted my goddamn timeline multiple times the other day.
Did you buy the Rags book?
Fuck no. Fucking zombie comic, and it's got and PTSD. No, thank you. I don't. And also, you'd have to buy either the censored version or the uncensored version. Uncensored version, they charge more. Yeah, I don't play with that shit. So fuck that. No. But had put up a fucking image of the trap version of She-Ra with a fucking ball sack, and like the shot was like from with its legs spread, and from behind, so you fucking dick and balls from behind. And I'm like, wait, ain't this supposed to be like a 15-year-old kid, a 14-year-old kid? The She-Ra. So this
I don't understand why someone would waste the effort to draw that in order to troll what's going on.
Like, you guys got no fucking life.
That stirs up more shit.
I look at it this way.
Stirs up more shit.
He's not even an artist. He's a comic writer. So he might have found that somewhere and posted. Who the fuck knows? But when I was unfollowing him, it's like he had his fucking banner. So you got to see fucking scrotum on the goddamn banner of his Twitter page. I'm like, this is what happens to writers. Look at all the people that cause problems in this fucking comics community. What are they? Writers. Very rarely do you see artists stir shit because they're actually doing something. But the writers, what they fucking do? Just write? So they fucking stew in their own juices all fucking day. They're miserable fucks usually because a lot of them are frustrated artists. Bitch, go out there and get some fucking drawing lessons. Fucking exercise your creative muscles other than a fucking type keyboard and shit. Larry throwing fucking shit at comic writers. Like, who the fuck are you, man?
Get off my lawn!
Get off my fucking lawn!
I don't recognize you, asshole!
that's my purse. I don't know you. Oh God! But it's so fucking aggravating to see this shit happen, and then people just like swarm around it, and it's like. This is why I curate my fucking Twitter timeline like it's a fucking garden, because if you don't do this shit, it's like, I'm like, all right, prune this, prune that, there you go. Because it's like, well, I guess you're upset about, like, do you want to see fucking ball sack on your goddamn timeline multiple times a day? I don't think so. It's like, like most shit doesn't bother me till like when those motherfuckers, like the, anti-immigrant, this, that, whatever. Hey, that's fine. But when you start showing fucking dead children on my fucking timeline, bloated bodies washing up on shore, and like, what the fuck, dude? Jesus Christ.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's like fucking people getting their heads sawed off by cartels. They're sending us their best. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's not to go through. So you know, it was, now you understand why I do what I do. But it's so fucking crazy. And the other day, it's like I was on a stream and a guy mentioned it's like, you know, the Rags crew, that writer, that Brian Ball's like, you know, I ain't never been a part of comic. Like he's getting upset about the whole Comicsgate thing, and the guy in the stream said, it's like, yeah, he was getting upset when he was writing the coattail or something along those lines. I was like, oh shit, which is surprising because it's like, well, you know, I guess that might be the truth. I don't fucking know. Don't really fucking care. Because it ain't my book. It ain't aimed at me. I'm like, if I want to buy a comic, I'm not gonna buy one of somebody marketing it as PTSD in a comic book, like, you know, dealing with with PTSD.
You're not allowed to talk shit about that.
No, here's the thing. It's like people with PTSD. I guess, fuck, I might have it. I don't fucking know. I've seen dead bodies. I've been nearly killed. I'm nearly killed by multiple people. Some people say they probably should have done the job, but fuck them. I'm here. They're not. No, that doesn't mean I'm saying I killed these people. I did not. I've never taken a life. Hopefully never will have to, but who knows? But I've nearly drowned multiple times, cracked my skull. Like, really, I mean, I've been through some fucked up shit. Maybe my way of dealing with things, like, hey, there you go, laughing shit off. But when you're saying, hey, I want to talk about PTSD in comic book form, but also show pretty much a naked woman, but not even full naked in the book, you have to pay extra for that, because so we can keep out of the adult only section. We're going to have it censored also for YouTubers. Like, you're fucking censoring your book for YouTube so people can review it? How many fucking people are going to review your goddamn comic? 10? 20? 20 fucking people? And you're going to, you know, fuck off. And then deal with zombies on top of that. If they'd just gone Mad Max route, like kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of world gone to shit because of, you know, EMP or whatever, you know what? That'd be fine. And that actually was very likely, you know, like a, you know, world going to shit. But, oh, fuck, man. Zombies? Like, we ain't fucking seen this shit before. You know? Fuck.
Well, I don't know much about the book other than what I've seen. And I guess the likeness that's based off of a real person.
Well, did you? And I've mentioned this before, multiple streams, but look up the fucking face of the character before they licensed or got Liz Finnegan's permission to use her face, because that fucking face, nobody would read that book, no matter how much fucking vulva.
It had an original face before they.
Oh yes, they did. If I can find that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's
Don't look directly at the screen. Is that what you're telling me right now?
No, I haven't found it yet, but it was one of the, like, oh Jesus Christ! Now I understand why they fucking licensed out a face, you know, an eyes without a face. But it was really, oh, I think I found it. Let's see. Because, you know, yeah, because I could do. Oh yes, yep, dude, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. All right.
I feel like I gotta put my sunglasses on for this.
Okay, here we go.
All right, I got him out. Let's see it.
Okay. Make sure you got your glasses on. All right,
I put my sunglasses on, dude, so I'm not blinded.
All right,
by
so this, you know, the Regina character, right? You know this, you know, the Liz Finnegan face.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
This is the original face. Would you be like fawning over that? I've seen truckers that have better faces than that. Holy fuck, dude. It, like, you could just add a fucking Adam's apple and I'd believe it. Because, I mean, at least he's packing something down there anyway.
Oh, boy. Oh,
tell me I'm wrong. Am I fucking wrong?
She's some baggy shorts there, man. Maybe she's got a gun. Maybe there's a gun or something.
No, well, that's actually shitty tattoos. I fucking hate women with tattoos. So it's like that. Oh, yeah, well, she was a Marine. I don't give a fuck. Why don't you make it a dude? How about, you know what? Dudes with tattoos I can't stand, but there's some people I like that actually have, like Troy Torres, Mr. Marvel. He does he has a Wampool comic and everything. You know what? He does tattoos. He makes tattoos. He has tattoos. He's a tattoo artist. I like him. My my enjoyment as
You're
him as
talking
a
about
human being.
tattoos in a forced situation, not feeling natural.
Well, that right there that doesn't look right. That looks really fucking awful, and it's also, imagine if I was an artist trying to draw that shit from multiple angles. Imagine trying to do that shit. Why would you do that? If you loved your artist, you would not do that shit to your artist. I think the artist is a foreigner anyway, so they're like, fuck him. It's like French or Italian or some shit. But yeah, it's like, Troy, I like, and so I can kind of forgive the whole, like, not forget whatever, the tattoo thing, whatever. People are going to have tattoos. If I like them, great. But this shit, it's like, why? It's awful looking. It's like, how dare you, Larry? They're calling him out. It's like, I didn't like fucking, like, I just, why? What's the fucking point? He knows that nobody, I mean, like, fucking people going after is like, because he's, supposedly, riding Comicsgate coattails or fucking Comicsgate B team. I just don't give a fuck.
There's a B team? Oh boy!
Apparently, there's a B. They put him on the B team, and he's like, "Well, you're on the B team," and he got upset about that. Yeah, so yeah, it's all fucked up. It's like, but you were mentioning Blake Northcott's fucking crowdfund. Dude, I'm getting fucking tired of every single. I'm the fucking shilling. You made your fucking money. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck about your stretch goals.
You can handle it. You had enough.
I've started muting motherfuckers, and like I'll turn off retweets, and if it still happens, like because without retweets, like they're just like, hey, they're still doing stretch goals, and then I've stopped doing that myself. I've stopped pushing, like for stretch. Now, like I've drawn a line in the goddamn sand. You made your fucking money. I'm not helping you out anymore. We'll get you to your goal. It's like, hey, you're on a battlefield and you're dragging somebody to the trench, and it's like, now can you take me home and tuck me in and make me some hot chocolate? Go fuck yourself, asshole. I got you to safety.
Nope.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, it's so fucked up, man. It's so fucked. Luckily for me,
I feel like some of these campaigns are genuine, and some of these I feel like are only coming out because of just
Lone Star. Mike Miller's Lone Star, where he's fighting MS-13, where his Captain America knockoff is fighting MS-13. Yeah, I hope he enjoys MS-13 knowing about this shit. Hopefully they won't do nothing. I'm not asking for the
thing. You talking about the character with the looks kind of like Captain America with the coat?
Yeah, that really shitty design. It's like,
I'm sorry, dude. I will say I do like the design. I just don't know about the rest of it.
It's like that really shitty 90s design stuff.
Yeah, it's me, man.
Dude, that's your problem. Like, see,
that's my problem.
That's your problem. I'll call you out on your bullshit. Larry, you're an asshole. No fucking shit.
I like bad costumes.
Standards, man. I have standards. I have fucking standards with this shit. That book looked like dog shit.
Shame. I'm sorry.
I read through it, and it's like the one idea in like guy knows the DC Fans United. He's like, hey man, I do like the idea that the fact that what is it, fucking Lone Star, he senses fear. I'm like, well, that might work great for a hero thing, but like, imagine.
Does he smell it or what? Is it a Wolverine thing?
I can smell your cunt.
I can smell your unpatriotism, son.
So, yeah, this is definitely gonna get some fucking viewers right there. It's like scare motherfuckers off. But no, it's this idea of like, where the fuck did he come from? Well, he's a friend of Ethan Van Sciver's. Okay, that makes sense. Is that like, yeah, people are clamoring for Captain America and G.I. Joe knockoffs. Like, the fuck is this shit,
I'm not clamoring for knockoffs.
But that's what that book looks like. It looks like nothing interesting. Like, to me, it's like, hey, there's going to be people that thing's going to be like, this is one thing that gets me. I'll shit all over the book, and there's people who are going to fucking eat it up. Guess what? Good for you. Good for you. I think you have horrible taste, but if you want to,
I think you have horrible taste.
Good for you, motherfucker. Oh, how dare you not like this? You're against. Like, you know what? I think that the majority of the people that identify with the whole Comicsgate thing, I think eventually one day they're going to wake up and like, what the fuck was I doing? It's like being a member of the fucking Communist Party. It's like you're in an echo chamber for a lot of the time. There's some of them that think for themselves, but if you today the Tom King situation where he's got a bodyguard at San Diego Comic-Con, people, even though Tom King was a former CIA operative, he might have been just an analyst, but I'm thinking I had ideas like, did he get somebody killed? Did he get somebody killed? Like, did he I'm talking about, like, you know, bad intel, maybe good intel, like fucking Predator drones. He might have been a paper pusher, but that paper could have led to somebody being taken out by a fucking get taken out by a Predator drone. You know, like some wedding in Yemen got just like. So yeah, it's like who knows, man. So it's like one of those kind of funny things.
Well, I find it more weird that they're trying to say he wasn't getting any death threats because he wasn't putting them on, you know, out in the public on Twitter, and it's coming from people who I guess have gotten death threats themselves. So I don't.
Yeah, like
that whole dynamic. I'm just like, I don't understand. I can't wrap my mind around that.
Like, I don't remember seeing any proof. I mean, maybe there was in, like, you know, timelines and stuff, because I follow like 200 plus people. I don't always see everything that gets posted, but when Ethan Van Sciver back in earlier in the year was like had death threats against him, I'm not going to be at Emerald City Comic Con or something like that because of death threats. Well, so you just believe him, but you won't believe Tom King, you know, like that. So it's like, I don't remember seeing Ethan putting that stuff out there. Maybe he did, and I just didn't see it. So I'm leaving the option open. But it's, hey, you know, like Richard was invited to Ethan's wedding. So that means you don't just invite strangers. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I mentioned that before. Fucking retreading this bullshit. But you know what? Give Tom King the benefit of the doubt. You know, oh my God, people threaten to kill me. And this idea is like, well, he was CIA. Well, he can take care of himself. Not everybody in CIA is goddamn James Bond. You know?
Just because he's CIA doesn't mean he doesn't get a bodyguard from the company that has him hired for a public event. That's a big deal.
Exactly. Yeah. It's this idea,
and I think huge public event right now.
I was on a stream last week, and that one of the guys on there, Ash something or whatever, Ash on Comics, I believe his name is. We got a little heated. He was defending Richard and everything, and I'm like, you know, he's your master. I was just being a fucking prick.
Holy shit, dude! Dude,
I was being a prick.
You were sticking sticks into the ant bed, knowing what was going to happen.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, it's like I was like pouring the gasoline and just flicking the match. But it was one of those situations where he mentions that he had a theory. The reason that you don't hear many people talk about Mr. Miracle anymore is because of it was Comicsgate pushed that book, and that's why it went like 4th, 5th printing for that first issue, and it's all a praised book. And it's like, well, do you think that's the case? And I'm like, books get pushed. It's like, well, maybe the reason it hasn't got a push because it's a limited series. It's 12 issues. People know it's going to end, so maybe they're waiting for the trade. If you didn't get in on, because a lot of people couldn't get the first few issues because it just sold out so quick. So what's the point? They want the physical books, not just online. Pay $4 for a book you can't actually hold in your hand. So yeah, so seeing that happen, it's like, maybe what if some of these people in the Comicsgate community think, well, we made Tom King. We pushed his Mr. Miracle book, and he ain't been grateful. He hasn't bent the knee, you know. And so
there should be no bending the knee. That's not how this works.
Exactly. But there's some of those people
fucking kingdom where, God, I just don't. It's barbaric.
Well, they got that fucking the High Council bullshit that they're a part of, which is the shit.
I like to believe that's just a joke, maybe a play on words.
Here's the thing: it's like
surely they don't think there's some kind of fucking.
If you put your dick on somebody's shoulder as a joke, you still put your dick on somebody's shoulder. We're the High Council, Neil the High Council. You still did that. You still it's like, well, I'm doing it as a joke, but you still did it. You stupid fuck. You still did it. This isn't boogity boogity boo jumping out behind a corner scaring the shit out of someone. You know. Well, I'm a hard copy in the chat. No one said bend the knee, but I'm saying hypothetically there are people within that community, possibly, not pointing fingers exactly. It's like kind of general, whatever, like hand waving. Possibility may be there that there might be some resentment. Like, well, we pushed his book and he should be happy. He should be grateful to us. It's like there's some people like that. If you don't, bend the knee, if you don't kiss ass, if you don't, show gratitude for something you may never not even did. Like, hey, Tom King has been around. He's done books here, there, and everything like that. Did that Elmer Fudd Batman. He did that, which is actually a pretty great story with Lee Weeks doing the artwork. He did that.
Lee Weeks is awesome. Lee Weeks
you can't go wrong with Lee Weeks. But I just find it funny. It's this idea of, it's okay for, me, not okay for thee kind of thing or whatever. So, yeah, and also like legal reasons. You got to, possibly got to keep that information in check. So if like you put that, and that's another thing, like here's a perfectly good explanation. Well, if you were threatened on Twitter, why didn't you release the shit? Well, if you release that account, a person might delete their account.
Now, I feel like, I mean, if you're really trying to honestly capture someone, I feel like I'm not going to be alerting everyone. I'm going to be low key.
He threatened me. He threatened to kill me. It's like say
send it to the people who can do something.
Yeah, it's like hard copy. I've done a couple streams with him already. He's a cool dude. He's from down under, Perth, Australia. Representing. Wants to be an American real bad. He's like he'd be a good qualifier for American. He loves America. America, USA, freedom. But it's like, say if he was like threatening me, it's like hard copy. It's like saying, Larry, I'm gonna come and kill you. You're already dead. You just don't know it yet. Like, basically, like, fucking like Fist of the North Star, Kenshiro, you're already dead. But this idea, like like I wouldn't go out and say, hey, hard copy threatened to kill me, because he would just fucking either he would leave, or like he'd probably shut down his account. More than likely, if somebody you get accused of that shit, you're gonna fucking run. You run, then they'd have to makes it harder for, like I said, like more threat. They said more threats come in or something, and so the law enforcement could do more things about it. It's like it's like going out there. It's like that person might be the killer. They fucking like flee, that kind of shit. Even though there is there's an electronic paper trail, but a lot of people use the what do you call it, the VPNs when they're on social media and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like this idea of but really at the end of the day, he shouldn't if I was Tom King, if somebody threatened to kill me, I wouldn't tell nobody. Like, oh yeah, this person threatened to kill me. I probably you might see something a little different about my online presence, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'd just be loading my shotgun. I'm like, come on, motherfucker. I got my bandolier, I put it around me like a fucking bandito. I'm like, come on, we'll fucking dance. But yeah, it's like this kind of idea. I was like, putting that shit out there. I ain't saying it's a marketing stunt, but fucking man, there's some really fucked up marketing people. Remember they sent in like fucking fake bombs and shit, and people in the past have like video game companies fake weapons and bombs and brass knuckles, and really like people really fucked up. So who knows? Like how to get sympathy.
I hope he's going to be I think he's going to be okay. I hope so. Anyway.
I think he'll be fine. Yeah, it's like as much security presence as they got on those floors and stuff. Considering they had an incident one year where a dude stabbed another dude, they probably got a lot of people, like undercover cops, probably in some polo shirts, just walking around. What fucked up is like Darth Vader as a cop beats the shit out of you. Like, don't stop.
Some great cosplay. Get on your knees. He's really a cop.
No, Cops is a stormtroopers. There you go.
You see that one coming. Maybe you'll be dressed up as like Doctor Who or something.
Be like the one time the cop pulls like a 9mm and shoots somebody square in the fucking chest. It's like, oh shit, these stormtroopers ain't fucking around. But yeah, it's like this, and but that whole She-Ra thing was, wow, that really went off the fucking rails. But see, dude,
they're still fighting. They're still fighting that one off.
Dude, we went off the rails a little bit. But the other thing, so it was on the back of that. So the He-Man, the Injustice versus Masters Universe. That's kind of inspired the She-Ra talk. Also, just whatever. But the back of the fucking comic is that Teen Titans Go movie. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the individuals pictured on that poster are going to be in the new Titans show, which is going to be part of that DC app, kind of like what that CBS app bullshit is.
It's a DC app.
Where you can read
Just getting real, son.
Issues. And you can watch Lois and Clark New Adventures of Superman anytime you want.
Yes! I'm hooked immediately.
Yeah, fuck Batman, right, dude? Fuck Batman.
I'll be honest with you, I did not expect the rating that they had set out for the show being, the Teen Titans. And I definitely did not expect the fuck Batman deal. Especially from, I'm assuming, this is Tim Drake Robin, right?
No, it's gotta. I'm pretty sure it's Dick Grayson because he's a
Or
cop. Because he's a
Dick
cop,
Grayson.
so it's like I think it's supposed to be Bloodhaven. So it's like Bloodhaven. He's Dick Grayson, but he's still Robin. He's not. He's not Nightwing yet. They're probably at the end of the first season. They'll have him in the Nightwing outfit, like completely get away from Batman. And Starfire.
Well, obviously, he's
like,
going to be away from Batman.
Fuck Batman. Oh my!
I feel like that's something Jason Todd would say.
Jason Todd.
You saw him shooting the gun and breaking necks and doing all that shit. I mean,
slicing people open too. Don't
was
forget
that. Was that a dream sequence?
Nope, it wasn't a dream sequence. It ain't that clever. He's just going to be fucking murdering people.
And then he'll go be a good guy, and then that stuff's just forgiven. Eventually
they'll just whatever.
It's okay, like, Robin. We've marked that off the books.
Hey, Starfire, remember when you flambéed some people, you burned them alive? Hey, Dove, remember when you sliced people's legs open?
Like, that was all. That was. I don't feel like that's. Dove's more of the not gonna fight. You know what I mean?
But that looked like Dove to me. That looked like a chick.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
it was. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I was more surprised with the slice and dice.
It was. This is what's wrong with producers and all sorts of. It's not just for every stroke of brilliance. There's 100 things they fuck up with these things, and if they wanted to do a grim, dark, whatever, kind of DC universe show, Red Hood and the Outlaws, people where they fucking kill people, they have no problem. It's like, that really gray area. But do they do that? No, of course not. Of course not. We're focusing on, Starfire and Beast Boy and Robin and Raven and Hawk and Dove. It's Jesus Christ, what a fucking mess. And the people are like, oh, it looks good, it looks lit. Like, shut the fuck up, you bunch of dummies.
It was looking like a direct-to-DVD movie for me.
It looked like a bunch of... I've seen cosplayers with better costumes. Don't give me this shit you can't put an actress in orange. If a fucking cosplayer can do it, you can do it. There's no excuse for that shit. This is bullshit, dude. It's like
I guess Beast Boy's not going to be green all the time.
Oh, he probably won't be. Like he'll
only turn green whenever he's mimicking an animal's abilities or something.
Yeah, this idea of Beast Boy
he'll never turn into a beast. He'll only maybe
have beast power, kind of like what Vixen does. Kind of how Vixen is. Like Vixen, she doesn't turn into the animal, but she taps into the animal's energy, and that's what Beast Boy will do. He won't turn into an elephant.
Beast Boy's not Vixen. What are they doing?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They really don't.
Should have brought in Vixen if that's what you wanted to do. I would gladly take a show with her on it.
Or Animal Man. There you go. Turn him into Animal Man.
Let's bring in the guy that talks to animals. Yeah, there you go. I'll give you a 2-hour show of that every week. Him just fucking sitting around talking to squirrels.
Dr. Dolittle style, right?
And the thing is, we're not going to give you subtitles for the animals. You're just going to hear them talk like normal.
Barks and roosters, crowing.
We'll be
and all
up
that
to
kind
you
of stuff.
as the viewer to discern what is happening. Yep, it would be a personal thing. It's going to be a real hit.
This is the kind of shit that I will say. This: any misgivings, and I've in the past I've said how I actually enjoyed Dawn of Justice, and there was even the fucked up shit I enjoyed mainly because of Gal Gadot. Even without Gal Gadot, this right here, that fucking just a trailer, has wiped the slate clean of all the hatred or any disgust I have with Dawn of Justice. This makes even Suicide Squad. I'm talking about everything. The cinematic DC cinematic.
You're giving everything back.
A pass.
Everything's back. Everything's getting a pass because of this.
Now to this point.
So you're telling me you're going to be the first person to sign up for this new video service tomorrow?
Fuck no. Fuck no. I'm not, because they can probably pull the same thing CBS did, where
you're
CBS
hitting the refresh button on the website. Come on.
Nope.
Show me more pictures.
You know, they basically motherfucked 6 billion people. You know,
What
because
about the
everywhere
Swamp
else
Thing deal they're going to be pumping out?
well, they
You're
might be
not
making
interested
that
in
in my
that?
own state. Dude, they might be making it in my own state because they're
CG
actually filming.
spaghetti, man. You ready for that? That's
Oh
probably what we're
God!
going to get.
If they could do a fucking suit, if they could do fucking Dick Durock in the suit in the '90s, and that suit looked amazing, it looked better
We've
than the
lost
suit in the
that
first movie.
technology.
That's just so fucked up. And you're right. Now it'd just be a guy in like the mocap suit in the swamp, and they just add everything in post.
Be a
You know,
green suit with the spaghetti stuff hanging off of it. You've
well,
got a lot of
it'd have to
bushes
be
on you. I
blue.
need you to act like that.
It'd have to be blue. It'd have to be like a blue suit with like with the tennis balls on it, or the ping pong balls, so they could
Spaghetti ball, man.
track.
There you go.
That would look more like Man Thing or Moss Man
They're
from.
going to bring in Danny DeVito to do the voice of Swamp Thing. It'll be good.
Oh God. Oh, why?
The
Oh Jesus.
green, man.
Hard copy in the chat brings up. Remember the Birds of Prey series? Oh Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
man. The anxiety I got when I heard about that when I was a kid.
Let's start a
I was trying to understand how
revolution. Oh,
Batman and Catwoman had a baby that had powers when they both don't have powers.
well, this is Catwoman from the Michelle Pfeiffer. This is supposed to be the
Oh,
Michelle
you're talking
Pfeiffer
about the
Catwoman.
the cat voodoo when she was licked back
Yep,
to life. Okay.
yep. So that's the reason she's able to do all her crazy shit. And
That was,
that's
I was never made aware of that. I just assumed she was
dude.
knocked out and the
You didn't
cats
pick up
woke
the
her
hint.
up.
You didn't
I
pick
thought
up the hint in the beginning of the first episode where the Catwoman in there has like the torn Selena Kyle, Michelle Pfeiffer costume, but with the blonde hair, and it's kind of like that look. And so it's like that's what. Yeah, see, you had like me. I had to infer, and that's what's fucked up. I had to infer that they didn't tell me. They say she's a metahuman, and
Catwoman's a metahuman. This is new information for me.
oh, here's some new information. This is what I heard. I'm this here in a second hand. Bad semen. Bad semen is the superpower. Oh Jesus, her cup, you sick fuck. But
That is bad.
Batman.
No, don't simulate this. Don't do it.
No, that's as far as I go. But I heard this secondhand. Apparently, there was somebody that had talked to Dina Meyer, who played Barbara Gordon, Oracle, and Birds of Prey, and she was the best thing about that show. I loved her in that show. I was like, I was a fan of her work since Starship Troopers.
She looked good in the suit.
Dude, that fucking suit looked great. That actually looked like comic movie worthy suit. That's what's so fucked up. You used it like 1 or 2 times. That's it. And out of 13 episodes, which I guess is more than
maybe
that,
the suit was not like it was only made for just being used
she
a
was
couple
supposed to be in a
times.
wheelchair though, dude. That's the thing. Is like she's supposed to be like trapped.
They could have gave her robot legs. I mean,
they did though. They gave her they gave her a computer chip thing like near the end of the first season. That first, it's like episode 12 or 13. She had like a implant. There's like a computer chip, but it only lasts so long. Like the signals from her head to her legs. Like reasons why she couldn't be in a suit all the time. But like,
I love it. I think it's a great that's a great story.
She battled Lady Shiva when she battled Lady Shiva, and
she had to come out of retirement. They needed her, so that's when she suits up. It's kind of like when in Power Rangers when Tommy's powers were fading away. So for every episode, Zordon's like, "Hey, man, your shit's running kind of low. The chance you're taking here." And Tommy's always like, "Yeah, I know, but I got to do it."
Gotta do it for the kids, man. Gotta do it for the kids.
But it's the same concept. I mean, Tommy had a very limited power, but it seemed like it was always limited every episode up until it was gone completely. But they milked the shit out of that.
Well, I think they milked it well enough for 13 episodes.
It had me drawn in.
Well, for 13 episodes, I think they milked it well because she was the best thing about it. But that Dina Meyer, before the show, before like the training and stuff, like when she found out she got the role, so she went and read all the comics. So at the time, she read the comics.
Good.
And then she went and she got a wheelchair, and then trained with the Screama sticks while in a wheelchair, like went a martial artist. And like was taught how to like basically use a Screama sticks in like a standard wheelchair. It's like Barbara Gordon in the fucking comic, like Oracle. How she's got the fucking batons like what Nightwing uses and fucks people up with them fucking sticks. which is like boom, like that's how you're supposed to do that shit. Then she
It's her
gets to
new
the
code
fucking
name, dude. Murder Wills, man.
murder wheels, death ball, murder ball, whatever. But death on wheels. But she gets to the set and the fucking wheelchair is motorized, and she's like, all that work for nothing. All that like because like moving around the wheel. Like so, she learned how to, but it's motorized because it's supposed to be high tech or some bullshit.
She's Professor X. You didn't get the
Yeah, they
memo?
basically made her Professor X, and so it's like it took that aspect, like kind of more ground. It's like one thing to have a bunch of computers with the fucking motorized wheelchair shit, and so she was. I was like, that was fucked up. It's like all that time wasted, because nobody tells anybody anything, just like every place in life. But this kind of shit, it's like this is nothing new. The DC, it's you look at the Arrow show. It's like they went from he's the vigilante, he's the hood, and it seemed like it's kind of like Smallville. Smallville
Now
had
he's the
everything.
mayor, or he
He's the
was the
mayor or
mayor.
some shit.
I don't know. I haven't really kept up with that show the last 2 years. It lost me after it tried so hard to be Batman.
Yeah, when they brought in the League of Assassins, when they brought in
And the Felicity stuff. I'm not a big Felicity fan. Sorry, internet.
I kind of like the actress. I'm not gonna say she's not hot. I'm not gonna say, but yeah, the character wise, I'm like
I'm not attacking her parents. I just don't like the story angle. Yeah,
it's like, but the matter is, if they made that monster, and I can't kill it off. That's the problem. But after season 2, after the Deathstroke, because they fucking did Deathstroke, they did Ravager, they had. And I was like,
Crixus as Deathstroke. I thought that was good. Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Fuck Manu Bennett, man.
That dude's a fucking badass.
That fucking voice, man.
He was way overrated.
What?
Way underrated. I mean,
that's what I meant to say. I'm gonna fucking cut you off.
Way underrated for the work he did on Arrow. I feel like he's a real actor compared to the rest of those guys.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know what you mean by his teeth. His sister's teeth was stuck together. I don't know what you mean by that hard copy. I kind of like the actress Willa Holland because she's kind of skanky. She's like the actress that played Thea Queen, because she was basically she played Speedy, and I kind of like. Which
you kind of liked her, dude? Is that what's going on here?
I liked her, man, because I used to watch the OC and she was on there. I was like, oh, she was kind of. But then, of course, she was, on Arrow. She's like, oh, and she's playing the fucking, the drugged out, party girl kind of thing. I was like, and it worked. And it's like I kind of like her, and also she's a dirty girl, man. How can you go wrong? But but it was like then she left. Dude. Hey, you know what? We all like. Hey, there's some people.
So when she left, you were pretty tore up, I bet.
Well, it didn't help none. The rest of the show fucking sucked.
You're taking away the one thing I was tuning in for.
Yeah, it was like, well, not one only thing, but it was like.
What's the other thing?
Anytime they would tease Deathstroke and the other Suicide Squad members, dude, fucking Michael Jai White as Golden Tiger. What the fuck, man? And then they had like Tara Strong reprising the voice for Harley Quinn. Like, don't let her out. Like
that little tease, and there'll be nothing else from that.
Well, at least they fucking did something, and they mentioned.
I feel like they should give them free roam with these TV shows. Let them do whatever they want. I feel like if DC really wants to stand out from Marvel as far as their movie, TV structure deal, let these people have the keys. Let them fucking create something. Let them get out there and do it. I mean, you're not going to know if something doesn't work unless you take a chance.
Well, and that's another thing. I know that now that they've basically Superman. It was on that first season of Supergirl. Like, you only see like Superman's feet or his cape, and then he shows up.
That's pretty cool. I can handle that.
But he actually showed up in full, like that when they moved over to that CW and everything.
Talking about the Dean Kane's cousin looking guy.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. It's like
my cousin Vinny. My cousin Dean.
In a Kryptonian ship, it has this kind of torque and this kind of and this kind of tread. It leaves this kind of whatever. But no, it's this. It just looked. I really don't. I don't like that actress that plays Supergirl. I really don't.
She's got a good look.
Dude,
I tried watching one episode and I said earlier, it just wasn't for me.
You know what she is? She's a glass of milk. Not warm, not too warm, not too cold, like room temperature milk. Nothing to write home about, nothing to get really mad about. It's just milk. That's all she is.
You can put cookies in that milk, Larry, and you'll be just fine, dude.
Then I'd have crumbs in the milk. Then part of the cookies that I can enjoy are down in the bottom of the milk that I can't get to because I really don't want to drink the milk. It's there, but I don't want to drink it. Now that the actress Laura Vandervoort, the one that was in Smallville, that Supergirl, I'm like,
you like that one?
You know what?
Perpetual never wearing the suit. She was she was always wearing the halter top.
Yeah. But it's this way.
Yeah.
You know what? It was.
It is.
You know what?
Is that what you're going to say?
It could have been worse.
It could have been.
It could have
been
revenge
robes. The revenge pantsuit robes.
Don't do it, man. I'm trying to get over that. I'm trying to forget that exists.
It's from the third Kryptonian age. I've been actually sitting here writing a small history to kind of give you a better grasp on it, so that you can accept it.
Never. I will never accept it. It's like never forgive. Never
got a couple things here. I need DC to kind of give me a more leeway on continuity, but I feel like if I can get Bendis on it, we got it. It's in the bag.
Don't you fucking bring up that piece of shit. That Bendis
asshole. Is thinking maybe sweatpants suits for everyone in the whole greater Kryptonian family.
That motherfucker's gonna have 6 books coming out, dude.
Did you think he was only gonna have 4? No,
dude. I thought
they were gonna give him a whole bunch.
2 is too much already.
He'll be pumping out his little creator-owned books, and then he's going to be working on some movies.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I joked that he'll be eventually be an executive at DC. I don't think it's a joke
Did you ever think that Jim Lee was going to be an executive? I didn't.
Yeah, he's a fucking sellout. Jim Lee's a hack. I used to like Jim Lee a lot. His art used to be much better.
Damn it, I still like him.
I can't.
I'm still a
fan. After Hush, nope, I'm done. After Hush, I was done.
Hush was so good.
Hush was so good. Hush, no, I don't hate Hush, but I knew Hush would be the peak. And then I was right, because when he did that piece of shit Superman for Tomorrow book with Brian Azzarello.
You didn't like that whole Dill Superman talking to the priest the whole time, and the guy with the tubes and the orb thing.
Not Jim, the guy that looked like Commissioner Gordon, but wasn't Commissioner Gordon because Jim Lee can only draw so many faces. Yeah, I didn't like that book.
You didn't like that? You didn't like Superman having the disappearing orb where he can make people vanish?
I didn't like that the Fortress of Solitude was in the Amazon because fuck that shit.
I love it in the Amazon. I'm all about the crazy locations.
You know what?
I feel like they should drop it there in Brooklyn, dude. Superman just kind of like
reevaluate my friendship with you, man.
Come on, you gotta open up.
Open up.
It's like Fortress of Solitude. You think he's walking into the strip club, but he's not. Boom.
You're so fucking crazy, man.
No one would think twice. There you go.
Why can't it be in the goddamn North Pole again? I'll just rebuild. There you go.
No more North Pole. We're done with that, dude. We're finished. They're gonna maybe they'll let someone else is moving in up there. Maybe that's where Kara's gonna base her whole, sweatpants operation.
Sweatpants, her hoodie, her Kryptonian morning hoodie, or some shit like that.
Kryptonian revenge gown. There you go. There's a better word for it.
I fucking hate that shit. You were
created in the 3rd Kryptonian century by a great grandpa.
Great grandpa, it's great grand PAW, not PA.
Great grandpa made these robes to get revenge on Brainiac's negative 1.0.
Mima Zor-El. Mima Zor-El.
Soak this up for me out back.
She was making some
hush puppies. You get revenge on him now, girl. You hear me?
she was making some hush puppies and some catfish.
Kryptonian hush puppies. You got to get it right, dude. Kryptonian whisker fish.
Whisker fish. Oh, God.
They got 3 eyes and 4 whiskers. There you go. I get the feeling that's some of this might be copyrighted. We'll have to find our way around some of this.
Shit, I have a feeling you might be right, man, but it's just so
Kryptonian whisker fish. That's a good thing. I'm gonna hold on to that one.
What are you gonna do? You wanna fucking
Maybe it was the whisker fish getting. Maybe it's their fault the planet got blown up. Stay with me here. Now listen. They were fishing the whisker fish up too much. People love fried whisker fish, all right? This is a big thing. Even baby Kal-El, he loved it. He just don't remember. And then they became sentient and they realized, man, we're tired of being cooked up. So they were going to swim really fast through all the rivers, and then, they fucked up the whole planet, and then it blew up. But the whisker fish found a way off the planet. And then they hired the Mohawk guy to take the blame for all this. So everyone's looking for the Mohawk guy, and now these whisker fish, they're on Earth. They're living it up, being protected by the one guy they didn't like. There you go. Nobody saw that coming.
Superman, as written by Douglas Adams.
The Mohawk guy is going to get his ass beat, and he's going to bring up the fish. But he's not going to be able to finish saying it before he gets vaporized by an unknown assassin, which is a cyborg whisker fish. Cleaning up to make sure that no one knows the actual whisker fish are on Earth.
A Hitchhiker's Guide to the DC Universe? What the fuck, dude?
The whisker fish are also going to take Lois and Little John. They're going to take him hostage. Because they've actually been Pop this whole time. They're impersonating fucking Jor-El. He's a whisker fish. There you go.
Yeah, it's
we're gonna wrap this up with a 82-page annual, dude. That's gonna cost like fucking $16. It's gonna have half-inch metal covers. What do you think about that, dude? We're gonna etch on there what the picture is.
I don't like that idea.
62 variants.
I'm going to find some cyanide and get right back to you.
We're gonna kill this idea.
So if you hear don't worry, it's just natural. It's natural sounds of shuffling off the mortal coil to escape this nightmare.
I'm gonna have to get you to create the whisker fish, dude.
I know.
We need to see what a whisker fish looks like.
Life is too short to create such horrors upon this world, and I'm not good at drawing animals, so
we're gonna kickstart this. Here it is, whisker fish.
You're gonna need to kickstart me some drawing lessons first.
We're gonna get you some fish drawing lessons. We're gonna get you tuned up, dude. I'm gonna need. You're gonna make me 62 variant covers. 62. 62.
I'd rather take 62 jumps off the fucking.
You're gonna draw them one after another. One after another, dude. You'd be an assembly line.
You'll never see my ass again. I'll be vanished off the face.
We're going to give you a case of Gatorade, dude. You're going to get it done.
Case of Gatorade. Gatorade's just going to dry me out, man. I'm fucking salt and sodium and that shit.
You keep slamming that shit. We'll get you a treadmill. You can run on the treadmill while you're drawing.
So now it's going to be all bouncy and shit. So anyway, well, you got to do it over again.
That's going to add the hyper-realism to the art.
Oh, my God, dude. You're out of your mind.
This is I'm telling you, man. We can get this kickstarted. Maybe even the other day.
So you want to hold on to the money? You're going to want to hold on to the money and just keep it safe and all that.
I will keep the money safe. My morals.
Oh, sure, of course you will.
All that will be the same. I won't change how I feel about everything after I get the money. Don't worry.
And with that, folks, I think this is the best way to wrap it up because I don't think it's going to get any better or any worse. Well, it could get a lot worse. But, yes, for all those I might have offended, go fuck yourself. All right? Life's too fucking short. I'm just an asshole who draws comics and not very good ones at that. So,
hey, I think they're good. I think they're great, man.
Here's the thing. I know where I fucking stand in the world. A lot of people are like, don't put yourself down. No, here's the thing. I could be much better. I just choose not to be because I'm that fucking lazy. So guess what, motherfuckers? Here's a finger for you. You might not be able to see it, but this is for your eye. And other fingers for your hand. There you go. Fuck all y'all motherfucking haters. So fuck off. Eat shit. Have a great day. And thank you again, Matt, for joining me. And hope it won't be the last stream, but we're going to go ahead and call us quits. Do you have anything to say to the nice people out there?
I got nothing. Okay. Whiskerfish is not trademarked, so if you want to take that and do what you want with that, you can.
Don't worry. He's going to fucking copyright it, and so if you go after it, he can
I did it about 10 minutes ago. I'm coming after you.
You want to be Ozymandias? You got your hands up in the air.
Forced collaboration. That's what I call it. I put the bait out there, and now you got to work with me.
I don't think so. Tim. With that, folks, good night and good luck.